Well, what you just heard was a loop, single track uh, from the Electribe S Electribe series S sampler. It's an old machine, and this machine is fashioned in the way that I thought that sampling was going to be going. You know, uh, I didn't see all these other sampling ideas that came about when Machine and the MPC started their all out. You know, uh, for workflow, I can honestly say that this machine has got one of the best workflows to quickly get down your jams. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it does have some certain uh, issues, learning curves, and all that stuff. But still, it is an amazing machine. And uh, I would like, in this machine, I would like to see something like your ability to be able to just play the sounds, uh, uh, you know, like I know it's asking to break down what I like about the machine. To you gotta be careful what you ask for. Does it make sense? You know, in my case, I'm here. I'm in a debate. Uh, w- I want to play along, but if you want to play along, then you have to be able to silence those instruments because you're gonna play them alone while the rest of the rhythm is going. You know, uh, all in all, I am very happy. You can do a lot with this machine, uh, and everyone is gonna have a different set of in their wish list. You're gonna have the guy that goes, "Oh, I would like to have more audio outs, individual audio outs, and I would like to mute each instrument while I can play it." When you put together all those things that you're asking for, then the machine is not the machine that it is now, because the workflow has tried to be improved, but has added more problematics to the equation. Okay, Now, I do like how it goes, and I do like that it's a quick sampler. Uh, the memory on it, most people claim that is ridiculously small. I don't think so. It all depends on how you work. Uh, if you have to absolutely have uh, 15 or 20 songs in your machine, all at the same time loaded, uh, then this is not the machine for you unless you work in 1 or 2 bar loops. Yes, I can see the issues to people who are performers. They gotta go live, they gotta have everything in the box, and they cannot trust the computer because the computer is buggy, and the software is buggy, and the least of your problems is what's gonna be the biggest problem on show night, because if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, and believe me, more than one item is probably gonna have issues. You know, more than one area. So on my back in the old days, if I had a bar to go to or a nightclub, you got to make sure that you got uh, a sidekick, something that you can lean on. Uh, 2 drum machines, uh, an extra 2 synthesizers, an extra sequencer. You know, you cannot just go out there with just your box and hook up to the speakers and hope that everything's gonna be fine. uh, and then I remember my worst nightmare was an issue with tempo in handling the machine. Everything went off tempo. So when 5 minutes prior to the show appearance, I go in there and I try the machine and the tempo's wrong. It's not a big issue, but I thought it was only for a certain one song, and it was for most songs. So don't depend on your floppy drives to keep everything sacred, safe. It's not going to happen, and you may go through some kind of magnetic field that partially erases your floppy drive, and you're gonna have some issues. Even worse. Uh, Anyways, where I'm trying to go to here with this is that when I saw the sampling community uh, coming up, the manufacturers coming up with sampling machines for the community, I thought the electribes are probably the best way to go. And I'm going to make a video on how you can get this sampling happening, because not all of us want full electronic music, and not all of us want uh, a basic standard drum set either. So there are some capabilities in this machine to either keep it as it is or mangle it the way you want. One thing I will tell you, in most of my machines, most of the synthesizers, when there are knobs that easily take everything off, I remove those knobs and I know not to touch those controls when I'm recording. But in this machine, if you take one of those buttons out like I usually do, I do the same thing with faders. I just pull them off. That means that control is not to be touched when you're doing something. Now, if you're editing, that's different. Then I can easily mess around with the knobs and or put the knobs back, whatever, just for the editing. But if you want to perform and you don't want to screw things up, pull those buttons out. That's how they get lost a lot of times. Yes, I know. But you gotta have, like I do, 5 or 6 little plastic cups with all kinds of buttons in them. They have screws, they have zip ties, and whatever. This is gonna save you a lot of heartaches, especially if you are learning a new machine and there is that finicky, very sensitive pitch knob, and you keep going to it. Bam, bam, bam. Now, if it's an actual toggle button, those are into the machine. I have been known to tape those suckers, uh, put something on a piece of tape on top of it, and that will keep me from going there. You know, pressing that button. Uh, I'm trying to remember where was that machine that I had that that button used to drive me nuts. I mean, it would kick me to out of presets from one preset to the other. It was a wild machine. I can't remember. It was the Roland the 202 or 212, something like that. It's very easy to press the wrong thing in the heat of the moment. If you're in a nightclub where it's everything dark, or a bar, you have a problem, because you can't find anything. That's something else. You need to take your tiny little light with you and a shitload of cables, because all the cables break on show night. Oh my God! MIDI cables, audio cables, they all something happens. You get some crazy humming coming from somewhere you don't know where that is. Uh, I said that I was gonna work on a video with the Alec Tribe, and that will be coming up soon. Uh, as soon as I get, because believe it or not, I still got 60 some seconds of sampling time there, because you keep on editing your sample, and that's all memory you save. And many of the samples that I don't use that came with the machine, I have replaced. And I don't have to tell you that if you don't back up those samples, they're gone. Lucky for me, I'm not that critical about that. I don't. I don't think samples are the big issue here, because I tire very easily of the same sample with the same sound, and chances are I'm gonna change it anyway. Whether it's factory or it's my own, I don't marry to it. You know what I need for this song, and you gotta go. So going back to the workflow on this thing here, anyway, uh, the sampling time, I will do just one jingle, and I will turn it into a song, uh, or the other way around. Actually, I will do one beat, and I will turn that into a jingle. Sometimes I will make maybe three, four, five, six presets that are all part of the same song. And I don't even call them songs, I call them jingles. I am not dexterous enough and knowledgeable to come up with the correct uh, arrangement. How you build up that song and you make it into a full song. I am not there yet. So I have one pattern, two patterns, three patterns, four patterns, and all of those are going to become the beat that I'm working on. Why is that good? That is awesome, because I can actually mix number one with number three, number four with number two, and whichever way I like, and I can have the variety that I need so that it doesn't sound like it's a machine playing by itself, a loop, 4 bars, 4 on the floor, that kind of thing. You need variety, but you gotta stay within your beat, and uh, that means that all those are going to be more than likely they're gonna be all in the same tempo. And if I move on to another beat, then that's different tempo, or maybe the same tempo. It doesn't matter, but then that's a different beat. That means there's gonna be different samples. So these samples are continuously being replaced. So don't cry so much about those factory samples that the machine came with, because you're gonna, chances are, you're gonna replace them with your own. And I don't have any gripes about what came with the machine, but that was then and this is now. Tighten up and man up to getting to the machine. Sample everything you can. Sample yourself, blowing your nose if you want. This thing is amazing, and this thing sounds much, to my knowledge, sounds much better than what I was uh, uh, playing with my SP808. And I don't have the hissing from that freaking zip drive. Uh, she's still working. That's the fourth or the fifth. The SP808, the zip drives are what kills that damn machine. I uh, I put 4 of them already. This is the fifth one, and they've gone fairly inexpensive now because that's all technology, and most people don't even want them anyways. This one came from an Akai, and the one that the other two that I put before that, one from was from a computer, the other one was from an Akai. I believe that this one is the longest lasting of them. Something else, when you put those zip drives in there, they don't necessarily fit exactly the way they should. There is a sweet spot that you have to finagle with before you tighten those screws, so the zip drive is safely attached there. It doesn't move. That would make your disc go bad if there's jiggling on it. And the one that I had before this zip drive, I had like an old cassette tape. I had to put a, a book of matches, bend it double, and insert it at the bottom to push the drive up, to push the disc up. And that's how I used to make the drive work. It doesn't work with all of them, and it's plastic casing on those things. It wears out the more you take it in and out, you know. So uh, that's the fifth one, and I don't think that I'm gonna buy another one for it. So she's still up there, she's working, but I'm using the FX box, and you hear that a lot in some of these audio files because I am crazy about that isolator and the decimator, and I just burned the hell out of them. I'll see you later. Have a good one for now.